Hello everybody, it's Venus from Heart's Desire by Venus, and I am back with another installment of my flip book using old supplies. So we have done the bones of the book, which is this one. The last video we did these flip pockets using old envelopes, and today we are going to work on a page insert here using old book pages, which I don't know about you, but every time I get a book, I keep the pages. I try and use everything, but I always have a lot of them left over. So this is what I came up with using my book pages. Opens up. I've got the page there, another page here. I've attached a little scrap page. Oh, I just realized I was totally off camera for all that. We'll start again. Opens this way, flips up, puts the pages on a scrap pad here. It opens up again this way. This one I put a pocket, opens up here, and you've got more here. So what I've done is I have actually sewn this as a little mini signature into my book. So I'm going to show you today how I made this. I did another one back this way and I put it in here. So this is, as you remember, there are 3 signatures in this book, so I'm going to do a third one today. So I have got my handy dandy book here. As you can see, I've been ripping a lot of pages. Now this one does use quite a few pages, which I am quite happy with. So what I end up doing is I've got, basically you've got 1, 2, open it all up. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pages on this thing. So I need 8 book pages. So it does use up a few, and like I said, I've already done 2 in the signature, and this is the last one. So I'm just going to tear out 8 book pages, and I want them to be kind of rough. 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I could have done this 7 off camera. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So now I've got my book pages. You need your glue stick. And basically what I did, because I'm going to stitch all the way around these. So I'm using glue stick to just adhere these gently while I'm working on it. Oh, and of course I'm almost out of glue stick. Figures. I'm just going to rub my glue stick. It stays in there. So I've got a torn edge up. I'm going to take my other one, put my torn edge down, and I'm just going to burnish it. And that way I've got torn edges on either side. So don't worry about measuring it for your journal quite yet. We're just going to glue the bases. We're going to do that same thing for all 3, which I'm out of glue, so that's not going to work there. So I'm just going to do just a little dab of glue. Not a whole lot, just a little dab. Plain old glue, and secure all these pages as well. And like I said, we are going to stitch it, so it will be secure in the end. This is just to kind of hold it all together till we get everything sorted. And last one. All right, so now at this point is where you'll need to measure how tall your signature is going to be. So in my case, I need it, my whole book page is just over 8.5, 8 1/4. So I'm going to make it to be 8 because I want it smaller than that. So all I'm going to do is take my handy dandy tear ruler, and I want it to be torn on both sides because I want it all the way around. So I'm just going to take my ruler, move everything out of the way, and I'm just going to mark so that I have an idea of where I'm tearing. 8-inch block here, so I'm just going to make a mark on all of them so that I know roughly where I'm going to tear, because I'm not very precise, so this will help me keep in line. So if your book was 6, you would, you know, do whatever you feel comfortable on that, making sure that you're able to close your pages so it's not sticking out. Okay, so I've marked them all, the length of, sorry, the height of my book. So now I'm going to take my little tearing ruler here. You could do it perfectly straight, you could do whatever, but I'm just going to tear it because I like the idea of the jagged look. And I'm going to tear off the top and bottom right where I marked them. And I'm going to do that to all the pages. So you should have 4 pages because you've glued them all together so they're double thick. All right. And last one here. All right, so now at this point, if you are wanting to emboss or stencil and or ink, I would do it now before we join the pages together, because it's a little more difficult to do that after you've sewn it together. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to emboss these just a little bit, and I will bring them back and show you what I've done. Okay, so what I've done is I've embossed, probably hard to see, but I've embossed parts. I actually didn't do all of them. I just wanted little pieces so that once I do my layering, these will show up in between there and give me a little bit of more texture. So I'm just going to ink now, and I'll just show you. You'll be able to see the embossing starting to show up. There we go, a little better. Show up on my pages. So I'm just going to gently rub around the edges and distress these just a little bit. Now, yeah, see, now you can see the color going. And because I'm using Natalie's To Everything Give Thanks kit, it's got a bit of browns and golds and oranges in there. So I am just rubbing some other ink colors just on these, just pick up a little bit extra color. And don't forget to do both sides, because you know you're going to see these. So I'm just going to add a little bit of extra color and then rub my ink pad on there just to pick up some of that embossing. I'm not heavy distressing, but I do want a little bit on the edging here as well. So I'm going to do that to all the pages. Add my color a little bit. And you see this one, it's got a crease through it because I have just a side pick. So I can't actually do the whole page through embossing for once. So I kind of fold it over and run it through my machine. But I don't mind that because it gives me one more distressed kind of edge here, some interest on there. So that doesn't bother me at all. But if it does bother you, then just don't do it. So just got the last page here. Do a bit of this color in here. More orange in there. There, I'm starting to see all that now for sure. Gotta get the back here. And again, if you were going to stencil, you could stencil right now, or if you're just doing plain distressing on the edges, go right ahead. However you want to make this look. Last one. And when I do my distressing, lots of times I'll just layer it over top of my papers, because that also adds some, you know, colors to the pages below and random, I don't know, randomness, if that's how you want to call that. I think it just adds a little bit more. Okay, now that page ripped a little bit, and sometimes it will when you're embossing through with this. And again, I'm stitching, so that's not a concern at all on here. Just gonna make sure I get that up. All right, so now I have distressed and inked my pages. Get that out of the way. So now remember, we were making this into basically four flips here. So all I do for that, and I'm not concerned whether my book pages are upside down or whichever way, because a lot of them are being covered and embellished. So all I'm going to do is take a thing of two-sided tape down the edge, and I'm going to overlap one of my other pages. Okay, and just make sure it sticks down good. And I'm going to do that to each one, so that I'm basically making a giant sheet now. Oh, can't get that up. There. And just, you know, make the pages assorted however you want. And my last one. Now you could do this with just two if you wanted, but I liked the 4 on here. Because it's like a little mini signature. Okay, so now you've got your group of 4. So what I'm going to do now is, this is where I'm going to do my stitching. So I'm going to stitch all the way around the edge of the whole thing. And then what I'm going to do is stitch down where we joined it, front and back. Okay, I will do that, and then we'll come back so you can take a look and see exactly what I was talking about. All right, so you can see I have stitched all the way around, and then I have stitched where I joined the pages with the tape, and I just did 2 sides. One, I stitched right on this side, and then when I flipped it over, I went right down that side. And that's just to keep those edges from curling up when you make your booklet here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically fold this whole thing kind of in half. But what I do is, you can see where your paper naturally wants to fold where you joined them. And yes, I can see mine is too short here. And I don't mind this, because this is giving me a signature, but it's going to have all different page widths on there. So this way, I don't have to worry too much about that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this one back, and I'm going to fold it with that spot. And again, you can see it naturally wants to go there. And then I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm going to fold this one this way, right wherever that fold wants to go, so you're not fighting against the paper there. So you can see this one here is quite a bit longer here. So all I'm doing is, this is where I made that little accent flip in the front of it. I'm just going to fold it part way in. So now I've got this little flap. So that's what I did here to create that, was this idea. So I just put an embellishment card here, journal card or whatever. So this is now what I have here with my embossing in and everything. So now I'm just going to embellish a bit. And then what I'm going to do is attach this into my book. So I am putting this part, that's the first signature. I'm going to put it into my second signature here. I'm just trying to figure out, do I want it in here or do I want it in here? And I think I want it in here. So what I'm going to do is you could glue this in, you could sew this in, hand sew it, machine sew it, whatever you want. But I am actually going to go and machine stitch this right in this signature here. So I will do that, and then I will come back and show you how that worked. Okay, so I'm back. So I've stitched it right down there. So as you can see, it is sewn right into my signature and sewn in right there. And now all that's left is for me to embellish. So you can see this uses up quite a few. We did 8 book pages, and you could make this bigger if you wanted, but for me this was just a perfect amount to put into these books. So as you can see, that fits in there nicely. I didn't make it too long or too tall. Anyways, this was what I had for today. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out all my other videos in this series. It is the flip book using old supplies. We're using our stash. Thanks for coming out. I will be back soon with another installment in this journal. And when I come back, I'll show you when that's all embellished next time before we move on to the next project. Thanks for coming out, ladies. Always enjoying my time with you guys spent on camera here. Hopefully you got some good ideas from this and you're using up your stash. Have a great day.